All right, Mac, you are the odd man out because you moved, right?
Yep, back in Michigan. Took a new job up there, got a new place. Life's good.
You have a house now, right?
I do.
Yes, okay. You're not living in anybody's basement, you know.
Nope, I got my own basement now.
You got your own. Oh. Yeah. One of the big topics of this season for you was the possibility that you could move.
Yep.
And you moved.
I did.
So do you think that validates one of the big concerns of this season?
You know, going into it, my intent was to stay in Nashville. I figured with everything that had happened, it was time to move on and go back to Michigan.
Dom, were you surprised?
No, I was not surprised. I had a feeling.
Dom, you've gotten a puppy.
Yes, cutest little dog.
Mac, you were a little annoyed when you found out that Dom had gotten a dog because she was so reluctant during a relationship to have dogs around.
Yeah, it really, at the time it hurt my feelings, and I responded out of anger, I think, what you'll see in this next clip.
Let's watch. Thank you for setting that up. Let's watch.
Should I have brought my boxing gloves today?
How's that pup?
How's that puppy?
He's doing great. The only love I need in my life, so that's wonderful.
Oh my God, Dom got a dog. Like, you gotta be kidding me. Mind you, Dom is 25, works 9 to 5, wants to travel, loves to party on the weekends. I feel absolutely sad for that poor dog. I'm not surprised though either. It sounds like an immature thing Dom would do.
Yikes. Those things that I said, I knew they would hurt your feelings, and I feel like I was so angry about it that I just took the lowest blows I could at you, which wasn't right.
I mean, but you had got a house, and when you told me, I said, congratulations. You know?
I know, that's what I'm saying. I was in the wrong here.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's switch gears for a second. Let's go to a moment that was one of the most talked about moments of the season and something that brought a lot of controversy to the group. Clint, I'm referring to that slender comment that you made on the honeymoon. Just to give everybody a little bit of a refresher, watch this.
Here we go.
Typically, the girls that I have dated are very athletic, slender. So, I mean, that's just the type of mold that I'm attracted to.
I was just pretty offended by the comment about the weight thing.
I was just defining past relationships and who I typically gravitate to. So,
Well, if you feel like you've said nothing wrong, I honestly don't think there's anything left to say in this conversation.
Boy, lot to unpack.
We were all just getting to know each other, and this very awkward comment came out. I called Clint a dick. I was ready to make him regret his words.
I mean, I heard like a direct comment about my weight. I know we had had previous conversations about like different physical characteristics, but for me, I think weight just hit more accusatory. Like, this guy doesn't know how often I work out. Like, who is he to say that at the time is what I thought.
I went through like a 40-minute apology. I really did feel bad. Like, I don't want anybody to feel like I'm like body shaming them in any manner. That's not what I'm talking about. All I wanted to really convey was we both have a difference of who we're normally attracted to.
With this whole process, I think all of us were just overly honest and overly open about things. And so, I mean, even myself, I was guilty of saying something that I regretted.
I mean, on wedding day, I definitely, I was very attracted to her. I thought she was very beautiful. But typically, she's a little thicker than I normally go for, but not in a bad way.
I mean, you're just overly honest with this process, and I think that kind of is a problem sometimes because you don't know where that line is, and sometimes you say things in a way you don't mean.
All right, let's move on. Want to talk about Eris's cousin Falina, who really stunned the audience with her bold opinions about Jasmine.
My picker is off when it comes to me picking my man in my relationships.
She comes from the pageant world. You know, the pageant life, I mean, she's ready for a question. Like, every time you ask her something, she has a well-planned out answer on the spot.
The breakup is just a timestamp, but mentally, physically, and emotionally, you have broken up before you actually break up.
Oh, you are a pageant sister.
Okay. Great. I was up here like...
So we got a housewarming coming up. We're gonna invite you.
I'm not coming. Jasmine seems fake to me.
Now, let's take a look at this never-before-seen conversation between Eris and Jasmine. Let's watch.
I feel like you're almost like intimidated by her. When you came back from the brunch, you look like you worked like a 16-hour shift.
I felt attacked. Like, I felt like my character was in question. I felt like she called me fake. I have enough going on. I just married a stranger, so if I feel like somebody ain't rocking with me, I don't want to be around them.
I like strong people. People can hold their own.
What do you think of that moment?
I definitely feel like Eris should have been there on Jasmine's side. That is his wife.
Yeah, just because Jasmine is eloquently spoken doesn't necessarily mean that's fake, right? Like, I think it takes a strong woman to set a boundary more than it does to create any type of animosity if she knows that it's gonna be a toxic environment, so.
I felt like at some point you should have putting your foot down and said no, this has to stop. This is my wife. We are married. What's done is done. Get with it or be gone.
Jasmine, did you feel unsupported?
Yeah. I just don't understand how me saying I don't want to be around her, she don't rock with me, I don't feel like that shows weakness. That's me telling you, don't bring her around me.
To defend Eris, though, Eris is conflicted. He has his new wife and he has a family member and they're butting heads and we don't always have an answer. And I think Eris was just conflicted.
I think
and he
the
didn't
point
handle it well.
was, though, he should have had my back. I think that
I
was the
agree,
point.
and I think
well,
he was.
Well, then don't defend him. Because we're talking about him having my back in this moment.
I'm just trying to say that he seemed conflicted from what I've seen.
Eris, what's your response to this?
I mean, a lot of the things my cousin said was wrong. Her saying that Jasmine's answers were scripted or she comes from the pageant world, that wasn't fair. Just because you don't agree with Jasmine's response, that doesn't mean Jasmine's response is wrong.
Why at the time then did you take your cousin's side?
I mean, I guess it's just hearing a half version of the story. I'm just naturally gonna rock with someone I've been knowing since I was 4 months old.
And I understand it's a family member and it is your new wife. But in that moment, if you say your wife comes in, you look like you just worked a 16-hour shift, something's wrong, right? Something's wrong. There's
Something's wrong. It's not an excuse at this point. This is the next day. I hadn't even known her 24 hours.
Mm-hmm. But you knew her well enough to say she looked like she worked a 16-hour shift.
Or that I wasn't strong.
Do you want to apologize?
Yes, I apologize to Jasmine. I apologize on behalf of my cousin, and I apologize for myself for not making her feel secure, for not stepping in, and this could have been totally avoided.